Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We are heading back into r/AmITheDevil, and if you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. Also, if you guys would like to save 10% on your next order of gamer subs, use code Tommy at checkout or click the link down below. It'll automatically apply the discount to your transaction and help support the channel. Thank you. I, 36M, broke up with my girlfriend, 30F, because she gained 20 pounds in the 4 months that we had dated, and I lost most of my physical attraction to her. So I decided I couldn't be happy in a relationship with someone that size. I didn't tell her this. Do I tell her? A few days ago, she said, "I love you." I froze up and couldn't respond. A few days later, she asked for my response. I blathered nothing for 10 minutes before leaving. We finished the conversation the next day, and I told her, "You deserve someone who will love you back." I didn't tell her that it was because I decided that I couldn't be happy in a relationship with someone who weighed so much more than me. For context follows. When we first started dating, she was already at a size that was off-putting to me. However, it wasn't enough to be a deal-breaker. Over the 4 months that we had been together, we both put on weight. I probably gained 5 to 10 pounds. I went up half a pant size. Maybe a whole pant size. I can still fit into all of my clothing, except for 2 pairs or my tightest pants. She gained 20 pounds and it shows, and it doesn't look good. She already weighed more than me when we got together. I work out and I'm strong, but I cannot pick her up or throw her around in bed. I also cannot bring myself to go do this if I'm not already attracted to her. I've never done that for anyone who's weighed more than me. And she had complained a little about this in the last month. She made a joking comment here on there about how I had never done that. Well, it was because she just didn't turn me on enough. Basically, with my other partners, I would usually go twice, but I never did with my ex-girlfriend. I feel like she lost enough weight, I would become more attracted to her. And I wouldn't be put off by the thought of doing that to her. I talked to some of my friends and they said, well, if you marry her and you have kids, you know that she's going to gain weight, right? Her and I both want kids. They also said, you know, everyone gains weight as they get older, right? I know they're correct. However, I'm a fitness guy. I know a lot about food and diet, exercise, weightlifting, changing one's body, that sort of thing. One of my main reasons I gained weight once her and I started going out was because I had to make time in my week for her. And naturally, that ate into gym lessons. There were a few other things about her that I wasn't a fan of, but after I thought about it, none of them were stopping me from being turned on by her. And none of them would be deal breakers for marriage. It really does just come down to her being too overweight for me to the point that I lost my attraction to her. Basically, after she gained some weight, I stopped wanting to mess around with her and would basically only mess around to her when she initiated. She would initiate a lot. We had that almost every time we saw each other, and I like that she did that. I never turned her down either, and I made sure that she had fun, almost basically every time. Anyways, it's been a day since we broke up. I was holding back tears the whole car ride home. When I got home, I grabbed a towel and just bawled and sobbed into it for about 20 minutes. I've never done that before with any other breakup, and so, because I cried so much, I realized that I actually do love her. I just couldn't commit myself to a lifetime of being with someone that I'm not physically attracted to, which is why I told her that I could not tell her that I loved her back. I cannot willingly and knowingly put my future into an r/dead bedroom situation. I didn't tell her this because at the time, I thought it would be pointless and would only be destructive. But now that I've thought about it for a day, I've decided that I could spend the rest of my life with her if she lost some weight. It would be good if she lost maybe 40 pounds. For reference, she's 5'2" and weighs over 200 pounds. I'm 5'7" and I weigh about 170. However, I have a lot of muscle due to lifting weights, so the fat looks good on me. I have a V-taper and noticeably large arms, shoulders, chest, legs, and back. I asked 2 friends of mine this evening, and they basically said, friend one, if you really mean it, possibly considering doing it, but remember that she'll have that hanging over her head for the rest of her life if you are together with her. Friend 2 said, either way, don't tell her, even if she lost the weight. The other thing would eventually nag you. And those other things are, 1, she dresses like a lesbian and doesn't shave. I'm a heterosexual man, and I would prefer if she presented herself a little more femininely. However, this was never a deal breaker. 2, she has different political opinions than me. Again, not a deal breaker, and we've talked about this. It's not a deal breaker for her either. 3, she can be overly dominant, bossy, stubborn, and aggressive at times. I'm not the type of dude who needs to be right all of the time. I'm definitely not right all the time, and I don't mind her cutting me off occasionally and trying to one-up me, which she can easily do because she's smarter than me. And the reason I'm considering potentially trying to get back with her is she's an amazing person that I clicked with on a lot of levels and had a great time with her while we were together. I realized if I could just have the physical attraction, that would be every facet of love. Because I think love is both a feeling and also an act. I wasn't feeling the physical passion that I think is an aspect of love. But I definitely love her personality and how she treated me. I love spending time with her and taking her out on dates. I felt like I was learning from her, that she was learning from me. Even though she is smarter than me, I'm an engineering giga nerd, and she loved it when I could prove her wrong about some random unimportant scientific topic. It made me happy that once in a while I could one-up her in some sort of intelligence game, mainly because I turned her on when that would happen. Not that she didn't get turned on regularly otherwise. I'm just trying to say that, body aside, she is the kind of person I could settle down with. I know I only dated her for 4 months, and I realized that wanting to change things about a partner after just 4 months might be crazy. Maybe it is crazy, and maybe I should never talk to her again, let alone tell her this. I just feel like maybe there's a chance that I could tell her that she would agree to work on her weight, and we would be together. And maybe if that happened, there would be a chance that we'd get married and have a family we want, etc. I feel like that's worth fighting for. But if I contacted her and she agrees to talk to me and I tell her this, it could also go wrong in many ways. So I just don't know what to do, and I could use some advice. Alright, so let me see if I got this straight. You think this person, personality-wise, is your perfect match, but God forbid you're going to let the fact that they gained a little bit of weight be the defining factor between whether or not you happen to love them or not and actually want to spend time with them in terms of relationship words. That just sounds stupid as can be. Am I the a-hole for changing the door locks back after my wife changed them? I, 30M, have a beautiful wife who loves to serve others. We bought a home down the street from our family. I have a sweet sister, 17, who likes to crash at our house with her friends. My wife normally is pretty easygoing until recently. My sister's friends have been leaving messes, mostly towels on the floor after using our pool. My wife got upset picking up after them every day. I've asked my sister to make sure that the house is clean after they leave, and it has been better. My wife also complained that some of her perfumes or clothing personal items have gone missing. My sister said that it's not her. I believe my sister. I just don't see her doing that. I told my wife, and we agreed to just replace them. Last week, my wife made a couple of pans of cinnamon rolls from scratch. One pan was for us, and the second pan was for a coworker's family who is experiencing a tragedy. My wife went to the gym. I went to work, and my sister and her friends came by. The one pan wasn't enough for her and her friends, and they wanted the second pan of cinnamon rolls, and my sister texted my wife asking if they could eat them. My wife said no. They ate them anyways. My wife, upset, went and bought new locks. When I came home, my wife handed me a new key and told me that she didn't want anyone else to have a key to our house. I tried to calm her down and tell her that I would just go replace the eaten cinnamon rolls with store-bought ones. My wife decided that this was her hill to die on and said no, my sister lost the privilege to come when we are not at home. Replacing stolen items wasn't good enough anymore. My mom called and asked if my sister could use the pool as a back-to-school party. I was under the impression that my mom would be there. I said yes. My mom was at work and our schedules clashed. The easiest solution was for me to change the locks back so that they could come into the house. My mom didn't come with my sister. When my wife got home after the party, it was a mess. She sent me photos. She called me an A for changing the locks without talking to her about it. Keep in mind, she did too. And then told me that I broke her trust. She wasn't safe in her home because she kept being robbed, and I refused to put an end to it. I did talk to my sister. Then my wife let me know that she was staying with a friend for a while. Am I the A here? I feel like I have tried to right any wrongs that have happened between my wife and my sister. Update. Sorry I haven't been able to reply the past couple of hours. I have been busy. I talked to my mom again and let her know that my sister isn't allowed over without me home. I asked my friend's wife, who is a maid, to come help deep clean our room. So, when my wife comes home, it's clean. The last thing is, my mom asked me to help cover my sister's cheer. She is on track for a scholarship. I told my mom that I would pay half of my wife's things were returned. If not, the money was going to replace the stolen items. Also, my sister was invited to homecoming. She wanted to buy a dress. I told her no for not following our home rules, and the money I saved for the dress is going to pay for the maid. I did replace the locks again. I also am planning a romantic dinner I will make and clean up. I heard a lot about the cinnamon rolls. Someone on here gave me the idea to make them. I am for a dessert. Update. My sister and mom left a few minutes ago. My sister had a bag of my wife's things, but the more than I thought was gone. Most of the items are in poor shape. The big thing is that she and my wife's grandmother's ring I thought was in the safe. I had no idea that it was gone. My sister said that she found it on my wife's nightstand during the party. She forgot she had it on when she left our home. The ring isn't valuable, it's just sentimental. I told my mom who the ring belonged to, that my mom lost it. My sister is now grounded. A last update tonight, my wife is coming home, and I am staying in a friend's house. Until we can work some of this out. I already stated it, but I did put the locks back on my wife bought. My family doesn't have that key. Early morning update. My mom calls my wife last night and asked what my sister can do / replacing the damaged items. My wife said, have her meet me every morning at 5 a.m. I decided to tag along and see that my wife had planned, trying to support her in whatever punishment she decides to do. You know, the cinnamon rolls? My wife co-work's 4-year-old is in the final stages of cancer. My wife's plan is for my sister and her to prepare breakfast and get the other kids up and ready for the day, start laundry, basic cleanup, so that her coworker and his wife can spend as much time as he can with the sick child before work. My sister was silent the whole time coming back home. I can tell it really hurt her that her wife isn't as hurt. even being grounded. A last and final post. My wife has given me a second chance as long as I follow her list of rules. 1. For a while, no family is to be at her house. 2. No family borrowing our things. 3. No one is allowed a key, and I help with the chores around the house, including cooking the meals. 3. The last, my wife is okay with me seeing my sister, but asks that we all go to counseling to understand why my sister is targeting her. My wife said that all of this has been really hard, and she doesn't want to cause more issues, but she just doesn't trust my sister and can't have her using our things. So you have somebody that doesn't give you any type of respect when it comes to keeping things clean, comes over whenever they want, and yeah, God forbid, they're family, so here's the key, come inside of her house whenever you want. Yeah, God forbid, you actually need to be on good terms with both of the people living there in order to do that. That of which doesn't really seem like it, and because your wife wants to protect their things, and you very much have already stated that they took a couple of things from your house, she wants to change the locks to help keep your things safe, and her things safe. But no, for some reason, you have this thought process of, oh, they're family, so you change the locks back anyway, and wonder how that goes. Am I the a-hole for forgiving my husband and not his teen mistress? For some context, I, 55F, have been with my husband, 51M, for nearly 4 years now, married for 1. He had a similar transgression in his past, which unfortunately landed him on the registry despite the accusations being false. But I believed he grew and matured since the incident that occurred nearly 10 years ago. I love him dearly, and even moved to a different continent to be with him and his family in Germany. We are both American. Lately, however, he had been acting more protective over his phone and laptop, and had grown distant emotionally and in the other way. I brushed it off as paranoia, but could tell his mind was elsewhere when we were intimate. After nearly 6 or 7 months of this behavior, I checked his phone. He had been cheating on me, which I suspected, but with a girl much, much younger. They had begun their relationship when she was redacting because of TOS. She is now still the redacted. Reading through their texts, I felt sick. He was in love with her. He was way beyond obvious, and it seemed to be reciprocated on their part. From what I read, she was in this place and lived in California, took advanced classes, had a cat, and a million more things made up the existence of the woman who my husband fell in love with. I saw a few photos of her. She was pretty, my complete opposite. For a brief description, I'm a 5'10", blonde, blue-eyed, and would describe myself as waspy. She, on the other hand, was shorter, brunette, brown-eyed, braces, and had more of a cute appearance, for lack of a better word. I confronted him, stayed the night at a hotel, and after some time apart, we had a conversation. I looked through all of the messages I could stomach, and saw a few pictures of her in the underwear and clothes that he had bought her. Pictures he had asked for and admitted to getting off to. He had promised her that he'd leave me once she graduated, and she said that he wanted to visit her, that he would buy a house for her, marry her, have children with her. The last two especially hurt, considering my inability to conceive and the fact that I had to propose to him. They called nearly every day for a few hours, according to his call history. He bought her thousands of dollars worth of things, which I'm assuming is why he insisted on separating our finances a few months prior. I cannot empathize enough how infatuated he seems to be with this woman. He even gave her his credit card info as well as our address. The latter infuriated me, and I had to take another break at a hotel. After some consideration, I decided to salvage my marriage. However, I cannot help but hate her. I'm tempted to expose her name, but I am refraining for now. She knew of my existence. he badmouthed me to her. She knowingly was his mistress and seduced him. And although this is embarrassing to admit, I feel jealous. He told her that she was the one that he thought of while him and I were intimate, only solidifying my earlier concerns. She is undoubtedly beautiful, which only makes things that much worse, and looks nothing like me. She humiliated me. My friend, the only person I told, says it's unfair of me to feel this way, but I can't help it. She was old enough to know that what she was doing and was complicit in the home wrecking of my marriage. I have since forgiven my husband, but still, I cannot help but resent her. I hate her. More so, I'm tempted to reach out to her school and family to humiliate her in return. I'm convinced that he's still in love with her, that they're still talking. He still doesn't look at me when we make love, and he shuts his eyes and pictures her. I'm sure of it. That thought only makes me hate her more. It's not fair to me. I feel justified in my emotions. The whole world hates homewreckers, so why am I being made to feel bad for despising the woman who ruined my life? She is the other woman, not me. He married me. Am I the a-hole? But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!